Dude! Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Verified Podcast. My name is Shane.
My name is Carlos.
We have a teenage employee working at. We're gonna keep the name of the restaurant anonymous for legal reasons. But he also works for Chick-fil-A, right?
I do work for Chick-fil-A.
Works for Chick-fil-A. Works for this anonymous.
Much better employers.
Then that shall not be named place,
employers.
right?
And the other place that we're not going to talk about.
The other place.
He has a great story for us.
It is a restaurant of some
his
kind.
quest to receive his paycheck. Guys, please welcome to the show, Jake.
Hey guys. I don't know if I was supposed to talk while you guys were doing your intro, but I did, so I hope it didn't ruin anything for you.
Do you want to run us through what happened, I guess?
My friend texted and he was like, "Are you still working at Chick-fil-A?" I was like, "Yes, but they're not scheduling you right now." He's like, "Oh, you should get a job at this place. It's really easy to get a job there. You don't need to do an interview or anything. You just show up, say you want a job. They'll give you the paperwork. You fill it out, and then you come back for training." Came in for training, and training was fine. But then, weeks go by. They don't pick up the phone. And so I text my friend. I called them to pick up the phone. So he calls them. I go in and, apparently I need to be trained again. And then one day comes along. I'm woken up at like 10 in the morning by a call from an unknown number. I answer the call, being the responsible man that I am. Somebody was like, "Hey, I was wondering if you were coming into work today." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Are you coming into work today?" I was like, "What time?" He's like, "Oh, 11. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can see if I can make it. This is weird. I've always had to call them to get scheduled, and I didn't get a schedule in my email or anything. So I called the manager, and she was like, "Hello, do you want me to come into work today?" She's like, "Yes, I sent you a schedule on your email." Like, I didn't, I checked my email last night. I didn't get a schedule at all. She's like, "Well, I sent you one, maybe because I didn't put a subject in the email. It got sent automatically to your junk mail." I was thinking to myself, why wouldn't you put a subject? Just put schedule for.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then maybe I would be at work right now. But I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry. I checked the email. It was definitely in the junk mail." Like, "Okay, sorry. I'll be a little bit late." She was like, "How late?" I was like, "Probably 10 to 15 minutes." She was like, "Okay, that's fine." I showed up 10 to 15 minutes late, like I said I would. I walked into the store. She goes, "You're late." I'm like, "Yeah, I called you on the phone. I'm pretty sure we already had this conversation." I was not doing very good at my job, so I did some training. I did all right in the training, but then she was asking me to do stuff that I'd never been trained on before. Anybody had even told me that like existed inside of the restaurant. She was getting mad at me when I couldn't do it. I was getting pretty sick of it because I still hadn't even been paid. Mm-hmm. She was like, "All right, here's what I want you to do. Like 2 hours before my shift ends, I want you to memorize this chart, take a picture of it, and memorize it. I want you to come back on Thursday, and I want you to have the entire chart memorized. I'm going to quiz you, but I want you to go home early," which is my parents. I don't have my driver's license. My parents they didn't think they would have to worry about picking me up for another 2 hours, so they had already made their plans. Mm-hmm. So I had to pull them out of their plans to come to get them to pick me up, which was ridiculous and annoying, I was like, okay, well, then I guess I just won't come back on Thursday. And I quit then. And I still hadn't gotten paid. And she was like, okay, well, we do a bi-weekly thing. You'll get your money 2 weeks. I call her, is my money here? She was like, yes, it's at the store. Her husband is another manager. She was at the different location because I could see he was on the phone with her when I walked into the store. I could tell he put his phone on the counter to get the money, and I could see her name as one of the contacts. All right. I walk out to my car. I open the check. It's not enough money. I worked over 3 months, about 5.5 hours, which is a crazy small amount. It's like,
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, no, that's a small amount to work in like 1 week, let alone 3 months. I go back in the restaurant and I ask what it's all about. And he's like, "Oh, well, I don't handle them." I was like, "Oh, well, I don't handle the money. You're going to have to call my wife." And I could see he was still on the phone with her. So I go back to the car. I call her. It's instant, like, hang up. So he was probably on the phone with her after I left the restaurant. What I'm thinking, he was like, "You didn't give him enough money. He's going to call you. Don't pick up the phone," is what I'm thinking. Because, like, probably in it together. My mom is in the driver's seat of the car. All right, you've tried to convince me to not get involved in it, but now I'm actually going to go get involved in it. She walks back in the restaurant with me. She chews him out. He's like, okay, give us 1 day. I have your address. I will send it to you, the money to you in the mail in 1 day. We're like, okay. 2 weeks go by. I haven't heard anything from this guy. I called them back. I was like, the money said it would be here in 1 day. And she was like, okay, well, your check is still at the restaurant. I'll go over today and send it in the mail. I was like, how long should that take? She was like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'll give her a week. I give her probably a week and a half. So I open up the mailbox and there's absolutely nothing in the. I call her and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be rational at first. Maybe. I call her. She was like, I call her. I ask her, I still haven't got my money. Can you tell me where it is? She was like, we mailed it out. You're probably going to have to check with your post office. So I'm thinking to myself, I have 2 options. I could either say, okay, I will check with my post office that she hadn't even sent the letter, or option 2 is I could just like yell at her. And so I decided to go with option 2. And I just started yelling at her, and I was very angry. And my older brother, he was like, all right, Jake, I'm not upset that you're yelling, but obviously you're not in the right state of mind to be on this phone call. Hand me the phone. So I handed him the phone, and he was like, I am Jake's father. And I was like, okay, he's just going to pretend to be my dad. I was like, okay, he's going to pretend to be my dad for a couple minutes. That's fine. It's whatever. I was also towards the end of the phone call, I started screaming over what he was saying because I was, in a very upset state of mind. Story was like, if the check doesn't come in 2 days, they'll cancel it, and then we'll go to the store to pick it up. If I go to the store tomorrow, they don't have one.
I mean, did you get Prime shipping on it though, on the check? That might have been it.
Maybe
you didn't get the 2 days.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't have an Amazon.
Jake, you know what they could do with an Amazon account, Jake?
What could they do with an Amazon?
They could start a completely free 30-day trial of Audible. If they go to www.audibletrial.com/verified, they can get a completely free audiobook and a completely free 30-day trial. Listen to absolutely any of their thousands of audiobooks in their massive library and absolutely just enjoy quarantine without having to stress and just sit back, relax, and listen to a nice audiobook. Right? Don't you think, Jake? Don't you think that's a great idea?
I think so too.
Where you left off, is that where it is now?
Still haven't gotten my money, but I'm gonna get it soon, or else I will report the business.
Yes. Has this experience taught you anything that you could tell our viewers how to not be in this situation?
Red flags will probably only appear if either people that work there and they tell you they don't like it, or they'll only ever really appear after you start working there, probably, unless they're like, Google reviews are bad or something like that. But if like it's a well-established restaurant that people like eating at, then the only red flags you'll get is after you start working. You'll just have to just like grow some balls and stand up for yourself is what I gotta say.
Yell at some managers on the phone. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. If you guys did enjoy, go follow us on all your favorite podcast listening platforms. We really appreciate it. Show us some love. We love it. If you guys want to check us out on Instagram, check us out at The Verified Podcast. If you want to check us out on YouTube, we're called The Verified Podcast on YouTube as well.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called The Boys, all capitals. We made a video about looking for Expert Gamer 430's house and also a missing cat. They're all fantastic videos.
Thank you guys so much once again, and hope we'll see you guys next week for new episodes.
Yeah. So you guys do once a week? All right.
Twice a week. Yeah. Twice a week. We already interviewed someone for Tuesday. Yeah, we do Tuesday, Thursday. All right.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
All right, guys. I'm so glad you came on the show with me. I would love to have you on some other time.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I believe we're out of time. Let's